is nothing wrong with your podcast streaming service. We now control your device. This is not a test. This is Podcast of the Paranormal. Close your curtains and stay away from your windows. Lock your doors, turn off your lights. Get your snacks and drinks ready. Get to your basement or attic. The podcast is about to begin. Hello, everybody. I'm Gabrielle.
And I'm Jody.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are Hallowed Ground, and this is our podcast of the paranormal. Today we are going to be talking to you just about some things, some goings on in the paranormal field, some, tips and tricks and inside information, if you will. The first thing that we want to say is that in this episode, we're not trying to put others down or talk negatively about their work. We just want to ensure that those who are new to the field have the education they need to be genuine should they pursue this as a hobby or through other means. There's many people in this field that are authentic, and they do have true intentions, but then there's also that subgroup that are just willing to take advantage of others just to make a few quick bucks. So we kind of want to go into some different things in the field and, explain them to you.
So how about day versus nighttime investigations?
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah. How about you start with the...
I'm going to start with the nighttime investigations.
Ooh.
So what do we know about nighttime investigations? Everybody wants to do them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's spooky,
Yeah, spooky. Yeah.
right? Because what you're focusing on there is basic sensory deprivation.
Yeah. And I think everybody thinks that, it's nighttime. It's going to bring out more of the ghosts.
The ghosts they only come out at night, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people think. And it's that's not the actual, truth sometimes.
Right. So, the first thing that comes to mind is it's dark. Mm-hmm. So your vision's impaired.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's that going to do?
You're looking at
What's
me?
that going to do? Yeah, I'm looking at you. What is that going to do? What's that going to do to your lizard brain, Jeff?
My lizard brain.
Your lizard brain.
Well, for me, I'm like, you can't. For me, I'm going to be excited because it's
Because you're into that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
yeah. You like the spooky stuff. Well, we all like the spooky stuff, right? But the big thing is your lizard brain is basically telling you that it's dark out, it's not safe, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to want to be on edge. You hear a sound.
Oh, yeah. You hear something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what was that? And it's like,
shifting light, shadows, right? A car drives by, all of a sudden a shadow of a few figures casts itself on the wall. But in reality, it's just the light projecting through a group of people, throwing a shadow on them.
yeah, through a window.
Whatever, right? What else, though? What else are you going to do when you're investigating at night? Every little sound is going to be amplified because your brain is waiting for activity. It's waiting for something to happen, right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
heightening
it is.
that fear and awareness.
It's building. You're just waiting. You're like you said, you're on edge.
Well, not only that, your vision's not that great until your night vision adjusts.
Your eyes
right?
adjust to it.
So what's the first thing that happens? Your hearing is going to make up for that, right?
It's true.
So you're going to be on edge, and you can hear every little pop, tick, squeak. Every time you step on a floorboard, you could hear, what was that? What was that?
Yeah. What?
Someone's stomach growls, right, Gab?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whose stomach growls. I'm not going to point fingers.
It's the dog.
Or who's snoring.
So anyway, basically, nighttime investigations, they're going to help you perceive the strangeness a lot quicker than during the daytime, right?
Yeah, but you also get a more controlled environment. There's less people out. It's quieter.
Yeah, it's at nighttime.
Yeah. There's not so much noise outside that you're trying to compete with. Less vehicles on the road.
Yeah, that is definitely a positive, right?
There's the folklore aspect, right?
Yeah. So what do we have with the folklore aspect?
The witching hour.
The witching hour. What time is that?
3 to 4 a.m.
3 to 4 a.m.
Who doesn't want to be up at 3 to 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
And that is the supposedly the time of night when paranormal phenomenon is most frequent.
Yes,
between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.
Yeah. They're just waiting all day.
You're waiting until 3 in the morning. Can't wait.
Then they crawl out from under the bed. Yeah. Out of the closet.
Yeah. They're charged up, ready to go for an hour.
Yeah. All that time waiting in that closet.
So I guess we could have Jeff talk about daytime investigations then.
Ooh, daytime. Daytime investigations. So for daytime investigations, you could be just as effective during the day. They could even be more effective. This is when the activity is more active. You know, it's like technically you have all your sounds. You know you could see everything, but still though, you can still hear sounds that you think you're just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like being at night.
Well, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
just,
you're just but you could, it's a different day. It's like laid out. How do you feel?
So if you're basically like, it's almost like if you have it's something during the day, it's almost like amplified in a way.
Yeah.
If you have an experience during the day, because you're not expecting it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Because you're just trained
yeah. You're thinking it usually.
to
Like,
think that you have to do these things at night.
yeah, everybody thinks like that's pretty much when everything comes out is at nighttime, and it's like
You're safe in the day.
yeah,
You
and
do feel safer in the day. Yeah.
yeah, like growing up as a child, like you grow up and you think, oh my god, it's nighttime, like something's gonna be in my closet waiting, like, but then in the day you never.
I mean, so that's a good point though, right? Say you're out in a wooded area.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You're out in a wooded area.
But you're on a wooded area at night. Everything you hear in the woods.
Oh, yeah, literally. That's me.
Yeah.
What's that?
What's that?
That's a bear. It's going to eat me.
Is it behind me? I can't see.
Most likely the bear is
Run!
sleeping.
We have to go. We have to go.
Unlock the doors. Unlock the doors. Walk faster. Jeff, shine your flashlight there.
Yeah. Jeff, don't turn your flashlight off. The bear is behind us.
Yep. Jeff, don't shine it in the guy's house. My God, that thing has the power of the sun. I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah.
But during the daytime, you're hearing the same things, but you're not gonna jump out of your socks like you would at night.
No.
So
I might just jump out of like one sock in the day.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, there is speaking of a local area that we go to that is actually out in the wilderness. Do you feel better there, Gabrielle, during the day or at night?
I feel better during the day because I can see better during the day.
So explain that. Like, what's going on in your brain there?
So at night, I can't see. I don't know what's in the trees. I don't know what's walking around. I mean, we have the thermal camera, but that doesn't really help. But in the day, like, I can see what's in the trees. I can see if something's walking around.
Can you see what's in the trees?
Right.
But, I mean,
that's a good point.
So I think what we're getting at here is basically the only thing that the change from night to day or night and day situation with investigating is it's just affecting your mood and your senses.
your senses, definitely your senses.
Yeah.
Right? Because it doesn't really matter when you do this stuff.
No.
You could do it during the day, right?
You could.
Yeah. The time of day doesn't matter.
Anytime. What do you guys like better, though? Night or day?
Well, at our local spot,
Let's just say, let's go to the local spot.
I won't do an Estes session at night there.
I'm up for that. I still want to do that.
We have a really good story to tell. This is before Jeff. We're going to save that for another time.
Yeah, another episode.
And it's the basis for why I will not do an Estes session at night
Yeah.
in this location.
And that's the reason why I'm up for it.
I do. No, you're not doing it. Jeff is the guy. All right, Jeff is the guy that's like, all right, you want to split up, guys? And we're like, there's only 3 of us. I don't think we really need to split up. You know what I mean? Like
we need the place to be completely dark.
If there was a group of 6 of us, yeah, let's split up 2 and 2. You know, but right now there's 3 of us, and I don't want to be alone somewhere in the dark.
Right.
You know? Jeff does.
I just want to, experience. I want to like get used to the environment, and
Jeff's like, I just bought a new book and I want to try to.
I just want to sit and relax and just see if I hear anything and
draw a circle on the ground and sit in the circle.
I don't know about that. Like that's going deeper.
When we first started bringing Jeff along with us, he was really excited about pissing them off and pushing their buttons, and we got to keep reminding him, no, that's not what we do.
I wasn't really like that.
Yeah, you were.
I mean, a little bit, not
A little
like,
bit.
not like some other people we're not going to mention out there who.
No, I mean, it wasn't like
No, not everything.
strong
No, it's not.
desire to do that.
No. I just want to know if there's something there, and I just want them to
not everything
show
is
them
yeah.
to me. Like I want them to say, "Hey, I'm here. I want to see it." Like,
Right.
Yeah. Not everything is a demon.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
I think the most important thing when you're investigating is your intentions, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that if you're doing this work and you're being true to yourself and you're being true to the field, then you have to have a healthy amount of skepticism.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can't go in thinking everything is paranormal, right? Because most of the things that you experience have logical explanations. But then you also have to have the ability to rule out the mundane before you rule in the paranormal.
I have a story.
Okay.
So when we were at our local spot at night, do you remember that one time that so a little backstory here is this spot is known to have lights in the woods at night, but there's no houses or anything nearby. So it's not like obviously in the middle of summer, yeah, it's probably a lightning bug, but early spring, late fall, when you see them, it's just weird anomalous lights in the woods, right?
Right.
So the one time, Gabrielle was taking a video. She was panning from side to side. Mm-hmm. And
I remember this.
She recorded a light.
Yeah.
And we were so damn excited.
Yeah, we were.
That we got this
we
thing
got
on
a good
camera.
hour of
I
excitement.
was so excited.
And we were like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
And what was it?
Yeah, what was it? Tell me what it was. Tell me what you did with the video.
You know.
What was it? You know what it was.
I know what it was. I was taking a picture on my phone while she was panning side to side, and none of us put the two of those together at the same time.
Until we did.
Yeah.
So she literally panned across me really quick, a couple frames as I was snapping that photo with the light going off. And that's what it was. And we found that out because she lightened the video and saw my silhouette.
Yeah. And that's something you have to watch out for. Like you think you have something and
You're
you
so
really
excited.
have to you really have to look into it. Make sure it's 1% legit. You actually capture something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because not every location that you go to is going to be haunted.
That's true.
That was such a bummer. That was such a letdown.
Yeah.
Do you think that regarding night, you think it brings out more of the paranormal, supernatural, or you think it doesn't really matter?
I think it depends on the location.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I feel like I don't think it really is something that's. I think it's the same. You think it's day or night? Because
You didn't originally think like that, though.
no, because I
you-
really thought because everything I always it's like, oh, you watch shows and it was like, yeah, they always do it at night.
Yeah. And you were all like gung ho about,
Yeah. I mean, I've done, like I said, I've done my own stuff on the side, and I've done it during the day,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself in your house when you're all alone.
There, other
Yeah.
places, band places.
Yeah.
I think you also have to be wary of if you're watching these shows, if you're watching on TV, if you're watching shows on YouTube or anything like that, you have to be careful to kind of look for the people that are claiming everywhere they go, they find activity, right? They're just saying anything and everything is paranormal. Everything is paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They aren't looking to kind of to find those logical explanations, right?
Yeah, you want to kind of go into it with an attitude of, yeah, maybe it was, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just, yeah.
I mean, most of this, what you're doing, whether it's day or night, you're just kind of walking around, you're talking to yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're picking up your cell phone signal or the electricity in the walls on your K2 meter or another device.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, with that being said, also don't let it discourage you if you're going to these places and you're not getting activity.
Right. And I mean, the whole idea behind it all is to have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for
just
fun.
go out and just enjoy yourself and just enjoy it with the people you're around.
And when something does happen, right?
Yeah.
It's like such a rush.
It is like
that
a rush. It's like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the thing.
Try to have your camera out. My God.
Yeah. And we've had situations where like we walked out of a room and a door unlatched itself and we heard it and we were like, wait, what was that? And then we went back in and, we realized what was happening. The latch is like swinging and there's no explanation for that,
Yeah.
But there's also like a lot of boring hours that you're putting into place for that one like second of something that you cannot explain.
Yeah, you're waiting for it. It's just like, oh my God, like when's this going to happen? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
and then sometimes you don't get anything. It's just like, okay, well, it's a little disappointing, but
Gabrielle and I have gone to play, one specific place comes to mind that's known for being very haunted and a lot of activity. And the one thing I've noticed about that place is every time we go there, we get something, but it's so small, it's almost insignificant to the amount of time that you spend there.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're spending all these hours in the dark, kind of talking to yourself, talking to the other people you're with. That's why it's important to have a good group, to be in a good group, right? When you're doing this, because then that helps pass the time. It helps you enjoy the time.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just you guys hanging out most of the time.
That's true. And you have Jody, who's the Debbie Downer.
Stop it. Nobody like me. I mean, talking about like the one local group that we've gone out with, I really like the way that they do things. It's very structured. You split up into groups. You're given so much time at each individual spot in a chosen location.
Yeah.
And, everybody gets a gear bag and everybody gets, that time that's set aside in their location. And then you switch.
Yeah, which is actually, that's a good thing.
So you get to see everything.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is you're not spending a lot of time in a certain location, right?
No.
So there's not perfect, but...
But then you also have the group before you that could have stirred something up.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And you're coming in now,
you might
catch something while they didn't catch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you might not get anything till the end of the night, but that's like the fourth or fifth group.
So you might not catch anything in the beginning, but you might get something in the middle or pretty much at the end. Or maybe sometimes even at the beginning. Like if the place is very haunted, it's that's one thing you hope for.
And we've been on investigations where it's not structured at all.
Yeah.
And it's not...
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not fun. It's not... There's no structure.
Not,
so you don't know the order of events.
It's almost like you're just being placed. It's like, okay, no, you're not
a lot of the times you're not even placed though. That's the thing. It's just exactly like you said. It's like, all right, it's 8 o'clock now.
It's
you
like
guys
a free for all.
Yeah.
It's a free for all. You guys go do whatever you want.
Yeah, which is not a cool thing to do. Because
then
everybody is like on top of each other. And
because the problem is you have the campers that pick a spot and stay there all night.
that's true.
Then you have then you have the jumpers that go from one spot to the next, back to the original spot. They're all over the place and they're just kind of getting in the way.
Yeah.
In a way. And then you have the people that are just there to have a good time and they pick a picnic bench and they sit there and they laugh and they're loud and it's just distracting everybody else. Yeah.
I've been on tours or ghost tours like that where people are they're like, they don't take it serious and rude and just then they just ruin for everybody else.
Yeah. And I like those ghost tours, right? Like they do those in Gettysburg, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And they're fun.
Yeah, they are.
If you got a good guide, they're really theatrical and all that, and that's Gettysburg for you, right? They have reenactments, and then during the day, and then at night, what do? They switch over to the ghost economy, and they start doing that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you get some of these guys are really theatrical, and they make it entertaining, and it's good. You know what I mean? Some jump scares in there every once in a while.
Yeah. No, it is entertaining.
But it's
What is something that you think people should watch out for in this field?
I don't like a lot of the apps.
Okay.
So, like some of the Spirit Box apps, some of them I'm all right with if they're working kind of like a Spirit Box. You know, it's just a constant barrage of noise, white noise, and, you know, little snippets of voices here and there.
Yeah.
Because it works kind of like the Spirit Box, right? It kind of gets you into that mindset where you're getting into almost like a hypnotic or trance state, and basically your subconscious takes over and you start hearing and saying things, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think there's ghosts interacting with the app.
No,
I mean-
I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think there is.
You know, like, I don't want to say I don't think. I'm pretty certain they're not, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking about a ghost that's like, you know, 150, 200, like hundreds of years old or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what
the
this?
hell is a smartphone?
Yeah.
Now, what do you want me to do? You want me to get in there and get into the circuitry and pluck out words?
Yeah.
Like, what? No.
Where's my crank phone?
Or the ones that like show the words on the screen.
Yeah. Like the app-based ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the app-based ones. Yeah, I don't trust stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's like they say, like, you know, have to let it get used to the environment, but still.
I mean, some of the hardware ones, they claim that it's, you know, it's like a random word bank and it's...
Yeah. I think they listen to you.
The apps?
Yeah. Think about like other devices that
Right.
listen to you. Like, so why isn't this not listening to you?
Yeah.
In a way, you know, it's a phone. It's recording. It could pick up what you're saying.
Yeah.
So other than apps, what don't you like?
I think you have to watch out for the experts, right? The people who claim that they're experts of the field, of different topics in the field.
What do you know when you say an expert? What do you mean by an expert?
Like people who claim, you know, I'm an expert, I'm a demonologist.
I got it.
Yeah. Like,
How about the people that you show up to an investigation and they start immediately telling you they're an empath and
yeah. Right? They're, you know, an empath, for anyone who doesn't know, they're tuned to emotions and energies of those around them. But there's also, now there's research claiming that, you know, is this due to trauma that maybe people have experienced and they're learning how to be proactive?
I know what you're talking about. So like what do they call them? Mirror receptors?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they basically, like if they were abused, that they start to learn to anticipate
yeah.
people's emotions before they get
right.
set off.
Yeah.
Like they're proactive to like, how are people going to react? What are their emotions going to be? And it's like almost a defense mechanism, like a protection.
So they're
themselves.
learning to anticipate something that's negative that's coming their way.
Yeah. And we're not saying, you know, that everyone who claims to be an empath is lying. No. Right? What I'm saying is beware of people who say they're an empath, but then they lack empathy for others people, but they're demanding it for themselves. Okay. Right? That's manipulation. That's a form of manipulation. Now, the more proper term for someone who says that they're an empath is probably clairsentient. And I would say, like, everyone is born with some type of intuition, right? It's all in how you nurture it. How are you growing that, right? I mean, it's something that most people have as children. And then, like, you know, someone, you know, by the time you're like an adolescent, right, you're around 10 o'clock. By the time you're around 10 years old, people are, you know, at that point telling you, like, you don't have an imaginary friend. That's not real. Those things you see aren't real. Like, that's, you know, and you're kind of like then conditioned to stop seeing the things, right? And if you're lucky enough, it'll come back when you're an adult.
You think that so you're saying it's like it's something that we could just lose, like as a child.
They do say
so
children are intuitive, very intuitive.
They do,
yeah.
Right.
They do. So it's like, so you're just saying like we have it as children, but then as we get
or conditioned out of
older,
it,
we just kind of lose it, and it's like
Right.
we have it, but we just forget about it.
Right. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, find ways to like nurture it and, you know, bring it back.
You've dulled it, basically.
Right.
You've basically taught your brain to ignore it,
Right.
to ignore those things and be normal.
Yeah.
Double quotes, normal.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it, right? I'm sure when you were a kid, you had like an odd experience that you can't explain. And then an adult came and told you, like, no, that's not happening to you.
Do you have anything that has?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's the only one that'll just immediately jump on that. Like me, anything weird ever happened when you were a kid? And I'm like, no, not really. Oh, there was this one time though, whatever. Something started moving on its own, or it was just like, it is what it is, But no, she was very like in tune to it when she was a kid.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I knew it was happening. And I think I was probably around like maybe a teenager when I started to talk to my parents about it and like ask questions.
Okay.
And, I was very little. It was
How old is a teenager?
like 13, 14.
Eh.
I was it's one of my first memories, if I'm being honest. It's honestly one of my first memories.
One of your first memories was when you were 13?
Yeah. No, the experience that I had was actually one of my first memories.
Okay.
And I was a little kid, maybe like 4 or 5. I don't think I was in school yet. I don't think I had started school yet. So I was probably around 5 because, research says that you can't remember. You have no memories prior to the age of 5.
I was gonna say because Joey, do you remember anything at the age of 5? If I can.
Honestly, I have a lot of weird memories.
Yeah.
For me personally, I have a lot of weird memories of when I was younger.
I mean, I remember some family members, but I don't remember much.
Being in places and areas that I've never been to and stuff like that. Like weird things like that. No, did I dream it?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it was. Maybe these are memories of dreams that I had.
Could be.
Yeah.
I remember being like, for example, I remember being very young, probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, and being in I don't know if it was like a church or a rectory or something like that, where the priest would live. And I was there with, I think, my parents, but it was weird. It was like, I see it in my brain is I'm really low to the ground and my parents are up really high, like they're so much larger than me.
Yeah.
And like, I can't even remember what they were talking about, but it was like they were signing me up for something or getting me ready for something. I have no flipping idea.
Wow.
It's the exorcism.
What the hell?
The Exorcist.
No.
Oh, that's why.
Like,
That explains a lot.
I have a lot of random memories like that they don't feel like they're mine, if that's...
Huh.
They could have been given to you.
Well, sure.
From your parents.
From your parents.
From my parents.
Or like other
Most
people in your family.
that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't really recall much from my.
Well, they say it about
young
kids
vibe.
too. Like a lot of young kids see a lot of weird things and tell their parents about it, and it's like, did they really see those things,
Yeah.
or were those?
I mean, I have.
Were those memories given to them?
I don't know. It's like, it's like I have a daughter, and when she was like really young, like maybe like 1 or I think or 2 something, she said something about my grandfather, and she didn't know anybody. She never met my grandfather.
Oh, really? He was already.
He was already passed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. She showed a photo, and she's like, "That's Pop." And I was with my mom at the time, and my mom and I was just like, "Whoa!" Like
That's a thing too. There's so
Yeah.
many stories like that. Yeah, that is crazy.
yeah.
So did your mom maybe show her a picture once?
No.
No.
And I'm not going to get into it, but you know the story of everything that happened with my daughter. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
so maybe there was something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No, I truly believe that, like, your family members who have passed on, that they're there, right?
I think they're there.
That they're there. They're watching over your baby before your baby is born.
I agree. I think so.
They're kind of like sending them down to you.
Yeah.
And that
You have to
they
watch
do
over
continue to watch over them when they're born, right? I honestly feel there's a reason why babies don't talk for a year.
Even a lot of people say that their kids go through something really traumatic and they start talking about family members that were there
Yeah.
Yeah.
helping them through it, and
it's like
they never met them.
Yeah, they never met them. Like,
Yeah.
and which is
That's a thing. I mean, that's a common paranormal occurrence.
So yeah, maybe it is something that we, as we get older, we just kind of like not in a way bury it, but like just put it to the side.
Yeah.
We have it there, but we just don't have it anymore.
Like the magic disappears.
Mm-hmm.
We lose our third eye.
Yeah.
We bury it.
What about pet peeves? Does anybody have a pet peeve?
Yeah, my pets peeve me a lot. We have an old dog. He's like 15. And then we have cats, and everybody knows how cats are.
Yes.
They're like little fucking demons on
I have 2 cats, and
4 paws.
I have a dog that's kind of crazy.
Who wants to hear my pet peeve in the field?
Sure, let's hear it.
Go for it.
It's all you.
I don't like when venues hype up that they have demonic or negative entities.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then, not only are they saying that, but then they allow people who are inexperienced or underage to investigate, or even allow them to view haunted objects.
So we have a portal to hell in our building, and you, miss, over there, how old are you? 15? Would you like to open the portal with us?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Stand in the circle.
Like, we've been places and they'll say...
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've never been to places like that where they're like, "Oh, we drew a pentagram on the ground. And who wants to get in the circle first?" No, it's not like that. But I know where Gab's going with this, so I'm gonna pass it back to her.
Yeah, we've been places where they'll claim that, they have spirit portals, there's demonic or evil presences, and then, they're just letting teenagers... adolescents go.
I don't think personally
interact.
we've ever had someone say there's demonic, right? It was evil or dark spirits, I believe, right? Or what they said.
And the portals. Yeah. And then we've been with people who say that they're an empath. And
well, that one group we went with, everybody had their own little superpower. Remember, we had 2 empaths, and we had someone that.
And then they spent the whole night.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
You were not.
And then they spent the whole night asking questions about things that they were picking up on, but no one was able to validate their claims.
I would have liked to be there for that.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And I understand why people would say things like that. But, like, you don't have to have a special talent or, like, a superpower to do this work. You don't.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they were doing it in the Victorian era, and they didn't, they had spirit trumpets, which,
Spirit trumpet.
were just like a horn you would stick in your ear, and they would say that it would amplify the spirit voices.
So was this like the old
So wait.
was this like the old hearing aids that were an ear
Yeah,
horn?
that's what I'm
Pretty
picturing
similar,
right now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, very similar to that.
so you're saying that like they have this
Like the old
device
cartoons.
that you put up to your ear and
Yeah, you could hear like spirit voices through it was their claim.
I mean, we have stuff
I've
like
never
that
used
today,
one,
right?
But I'd love to.
We have the parabolic microphones now.
Yeah.
They do the same thing
yeah.
to pick up voices and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're amplifying that sound so much. Who's to say you're not picking up on a conversation out on the sidewalk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, their intentions were good, I guess, right?
Yeah.
The spirit horn. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. Yeah, they're trying to amplify the sound and pick up stuff that.
I hear a sound coming through. It sounds like a rumbling.
Right.
It's Gab's stomach.
I'm glad that you finished that.
We have actual recordings of that too.
We do.
We're
Yeah.
like, what was that?
Oh, here's.
Guys, that's my stomach.
What was that in my stomach?
Was that a demon?
And then I listen back and I'm like, all you could hear was my stomach in that recording.
That's one of my peeves too. When you're watching one of those, one of the paranormal TV shows, and it's clearly a stomach growling, and like they amplify the sound, they throw it up on the screen, right? They show the waveform, and then they put the text on what they think it's saying, and it's just telling you, it's trying to reinforce that yes, you're hearing what we're hearing too by putting that text up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just someone's stomach growling.
Like your night at Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that, like people aren't capturing something, that might be legit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you don't know. Like,
No, you don't.
You don't. You have to debunk it, and then if you can't, you just have to keep looking at it and thinking about it. Like I don't know how many times that we were going through a recording and we hear like I think we heard like a grunt or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you get all excited about that. You're like, wow, it's like a growl or a grunt or something like that. It's strange. You know what I mean? And then you listen further into the recording again, like, weeks later. And then you hear like, like the person has, they're like making a sniffle or something like that, or they're doing.
Yeah. You realize,
Like your stomach makes a sound again.
Your stomach makes a sound again. Yeah. So.
Or somebody in the distance is like clearing their throat.
But then it's hard too, because then but at that time you're like, did I do that? Did my stomach make that sound? But then you just don't know. Like,
yeah. But I think, the overarching view of it all is that you're probably not going to run into a demon or an entity that means you harm, right? Mm-hmm. It's just not as common as everybody wants you to think. So, if this is something that you are interested in pursuing.
Well, I think, again, it's point of view too, right? It's like it's your situation too, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're someone who believes in those things.
But with something like that, I don't think it's about your belief, right? Like you can believe in demons. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying I don't believe that in the basement of this one house, there is a portal and demons around.
Yeah.
You're allowing people who have no experience in the field of not only the paranormal, but demonology. Mm-hmm. And you're letting them go in there and interact. And they're underage, right?
Yeah. And sometimes even underage, they think it's just like a game. It's like...
Yeah, but even if they're claiming there's a portal in there, wouldn't there be some kind of ritual that someone would have to perform a ritual to open that up, right? Think. Allegedly, like...
Yeah.
Or is it just something that's, I don't know, there for whatever reason? Like, was there a tragic event that led to something there happening? Or a number of tragic events? Or...
So it's imprinting.
Right, like something like that. Yeah.
Because I just don't see, these haunted bed and breakfasts. Do you think, like, maybe from thousands and thousands of people going to these, that they're opening something up?
It could be. Right? It could be.
It's all speculation, right? I'm just asking your opinion on it.
Like all of your intentions that you're putting in, that people are putting in when they're going there. Some of them are staying and they're lingering and they're.
But are they creating a portal to hell?
No.
Or are they creating a perceived construct?
Yeah. Like it could be almost like a.
They're creating the idea that there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a construct.
Like a residual haunting, in a way.
Yeah. What do you think about the REM pod?
I don't like REM pods. I'm not a fan.
Why?
No. I don't know. I've never used one in an investigation that was...
Let's talk about the device. What does it do first?
What does it do?
So it's supposedly... Some of them have temperature meters on them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they all have... basically, they create like a EMF bubble field around the device, right?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as you get the closer, it will go off.
Anything with an electrical signal, like human beings have from their nerves, they have an electrical signal. So anything with an electrical signal, if it passes through that bubble that it generates, it lights up.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's supposedly how they're supposed to work, right?
Yeah.
What happens when someone uses a walkie-talkie around one?
Oh, and it goes completely go off. It goes crazy,
off, right?
wacky. Yeah.
So what happens when your Wi-Fi router has a burst?
It goes off.
It could, right?
Yeah. It could.
Same thing with the K2 meter.
Yeah.
I'm doing on Jeff right now because he built a REM pod.
I did build a REM pod.
I
was just wanting to see if it actually worked, and actually, I actually made it work.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
It works if you pass your hand close to the antenna.
Yeah, it works. It does go off. It will, and as you get closer, it will go. It will light up to the other colors.
It does exactly what it's built to do.
Yeah.
But we have no idea if.
But it did go off at one point at our special place.
Yeah,
you could say
at their special place.
Yeah,
in the middle of the woods on a rock where there's no electricity or anything nearby.
Yeah. So it's just something that's like it's hard to explain. Like
I blame his soldering. It's just
hey, my soldering is good.
It's the minerals in the dirt.
Could be.
Jeff. We mentioned before. Jeff likes to build things.
I do.
So
yeah.
When he has these ideas and he's like, they throw $20 worth of parts together and
it is
build something that normally costs almost $200.
Yeah.
Sure, go for it, dude.
Yeah. Why not? It's like What you just said, like 20 bucks.
We're in this to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jeff? I don't think you answered yet. What your biggest peeve?
Biggest peeve. Oh, I mean, no, like,
I know what it is.
you know what it is?
I know what it is. I want to see if you get it.
I don't know if I'm gonna get it.
He wants to see if you know your own biggest pet
Because
peeve.
we talk about it all the time.
We do?
Literally. Oh yeah.
You and I?
Literally all three of us. Every time we go on we book an investigation. You always bring this up.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Are we talking about the good vibrations?
I thought that too for a second.
Oh my God. Good vibrations. Gettysburg 2024.
We'll get shirts.
We should make shirts. Oh my God. Good vibes in Gettysburg 2024.
Wow.
Could be like a college shirt with the big 2-4 on it.
Yeah.
Jeff, get on that graphic.
Okay, that's my next design for you guys. I can do for you. That'd be the third.
Do you know what it is though? Honestly,
I want to know what here. I want you guys say it.
Keeping the flashlight on in the dark? No.
that's my peeve when Jeff turns the sun on, when he lights the
Oh,
sun
no.
up.
I mean, how Jeff is always saying,
I'm
like,
like-
and no flashlights. We're going to go complete
no
dark.
flashlight, complete darkness. That's like, I want darkness. Like,
That's Jeff's motto.
He does want the darkness. He
Yeah.
also hates when we book a place and there's too many people.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I think that's his. I think that's his biggest pet peeve. But I would want to see how he answers this.
yeah. No, I agree with that. 100%, 100%. I don't know. I just feel like it's better off as like how we are right now, three of us. Or
Oh, yeah.
if there's a fourth, I'm fine with that.
Right.
But
I mean, we go with like 6
when-
people.
When there's like, more than 20,
Yeah.
it's just like,
It's
then,
like oversaturated.
yeah. And then you get some people in the group that,
Suck.
yes, 100%, that like, they just don't get involved with it. And it's just like, they just like, oh, this is just all bullshit. Like, and it's like, wait, we did have that one time where someone was just like,
Yeah.
was like dead in the water.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, that is one of my biggest peeves. Like, definitely that.
We
Yeah.
had a guy talk to a thermometer.
Yeah, we did. We had a guy talk to the thermometer, and he kept talking to it and saying, like, literally having a conversation with it. It's not responding. It's just all this is doing is lighting up. It was a multimeter device, and it read vibrations. It read temperature, and I think, did it do EMF? No,
No.
I don't think it did do
No.
EMF, but it was like temperature and vibrations. I know for sure. And he kept talking to this thing, and my one buddy looks at me and he goes, "Is this guy for real?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just let him have fun. Let him do what he's doing." And he goes, that's a thermometer, right? And the guy's like, "No, it's not. Every time I talk to it, it lights up." He goes, "Yeah, and every time you step closer to it, it lights up too. It's a
Yeah.
thermometer, and it's measuring the movements on the floor and all that."
Yeah.
And the guy's like insisting that he's talking to a ghost. And then finally the tour guide is walking by, and my buddy goes, "Hey, could you tell us what that device does right there?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's a thermometer, and it measures vibrations on the floor." I thought the guy was gonna drop dead right then and there.
But I think that also speaks to how you're letting, people are going into these tours without
Everything is paranormal.
yes, everything is paranormal. They don't have like that knowledge or experience to be able, and I mean, going on tours and doing things like that, they need to do to kind of gain that knowledge and experience.
They're going into it with thinking that they're going to get an experience in every corner of the house that they're in, or every corner.
Well, sure, because
Yeah.
they watch the TV shows and
Yeah.
where they
And-
go has activity.
Yeah, and there are some shows that like it's like, oh, there's something here, and it's like, oh wait, there's something here. Oh, we just got this recording, and it's like,
Yeah, not to mention any names, but we've met some of those guys, and they will literally tell you every time, yeah, that whole episode, that's like a half hour long, that was shot over a period of like 2 weeks.
Right.
So
yeah.
there's literally 2 weeks of footage
Yeah. They're not just doing a one night investigation.
that they turn into 30 minutes of edited content.
Yeah. What about, so I don't know about you guys, but for me, when people hear, that this is something that I do, that I go out and I, research and I investigate the paranormal, the first thing that they always say is be careful. Oh, you need to be careful.
yep,
And I'm like, why? Because I'm going to trip somewhere in the dark and hurt myself. But they're always
hopefully not.
they're always saying, you have to protect yourself, right? So let's talk about that, right? How do you guys think that you can protect yourself? Like, are there methods that you take prior to investigations, during them, after?
I say after. For me, it's like when I'm leaving an investigation, I usually just say, like we talked about before, like, you stay here. This is your place.
That's an interesting question, though, because I know we like to do that after a lot of the times, but it might not be a bad idea to do that before, because you could do it could be a small little set your intentions out loud.
Yeah. You could do like offerings,
or we're here to open up a channel of communication, for a period of time. And, and then when you're done, say, all right, that's it. We're done.
You have to also be careful, though, like where you're going and what you're giving offerings to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like end up in like some type of like relationship that you don't want to be a part of.
But again, because with people saying, oh, you have to protect yourself like that, again, that's because that might be what they're seeing on TV. That might be their upbringing. Were they Catholic? Were they evangelical? I mean, maybe it was, going even further, maybe you're Hindu, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes back to like your values and your beliefs surrounding
yes, that's what I'm getting
the
at.
paranormal and spirits, and how you, within your culture, your values, your belief set, like how do you interact with spirits, right? What are they? Are they negative within, your belief set? Are they positive? Like what is like the kind of like connotations that surround them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends, right? You have some cultures that literally talk to their dead loved ones, right?
They do, yeah. And there's some like
I'm not saying literally they are talking to their dead ones. I'm saying they believe they are.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to power of belief, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to protect yourself and you think you have to do that, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that makes you feel comfortable.
If it makes you feel comfortable, if it makes you believe that it's protecting you, then
all means do it.
Goes back to like power of prayer and ritual and
you could.
People go to church every week, right? That's one big ritual every week, a weekly ritual, right? And you're doing that to what? To reflect on yourself, to prepare for what's ahead, to ask for protection and forgiveness, right? Yeah. So it's all power of prayer and belief, yeah.
But what if you feel like if you actually did bring something home, what would you how would you take care of that? Or like how do you think? Like you think
I don't know, because that's never happened to
There's so many things though that you can do, right? Like I like to research the area, the location that we're going to. And like protect myself with the knowledge of kind of like what are we stepping into, what could be here. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things I think is just don't provoke things that shouldn't be provoked.
Yeah,
right.
That's one thing you don't want to do.
Yeah, like avoid touchy subjects too, right? Like depending on the situation you're going into, like be careful of what
research. Research where you're going. Do not just go into a place where
just don't go in blind.
Is that right? Is that bad then? I like to go in without knowing anything.
No, because you're not going in there to try to provoke something.
We have Gab here to
explain what we're a resident researcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like don't poke
are you an expert?
No. No. I'm just saying don't poke the ghost bears.
Yeah.
Don't poke
don't poke them.
Don't poke the ghost bears.
And then there's one method for preparing prior to the investigation. You could meditate, right, in a way. A lot of people do this. A lot of groups will actually do this if you're going out with them. It's like pretty popular in the community. You're envisioning yourself being grounded, right? You're on the floor, you're on the ground. You're starting to see, like the roots are starting to come out of your feet. They're securing you into the ground, into that spot. Then you're imagining like a white light in your hands, right? And then you're growing that light to then be able to surround yourself and protect yourself, right? And that's kind of your way of being able to protect yourself with that light. There is, I like to just be like really literal about it in my approach. If you just say it like with intent, say it with authority, and with belief. Set the boundaries, set those intentions, right? For the experience. I like to let the ghosts know they can't follow us, right?
Yeah, and that's usually the same, but
Yeah.
we all do it pretty much,
Yeah.
as we're leaving investigation.
Yeah, but it's not just enough to say it, you have to believe it, right? If you don't believe it,
yeah, you have
they're
to
not
believe it.
going to believe it either.
Yeah. You have to be it's almost like you're being stern and...
Right, it's not like flirting, don't follow me home.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe in any of this stuff, then how does your belief system affect it?
I think that's an interesting question.
I kind of flipped that one on you, huh?
You kind of did.
Yeah. I mean, because you could look at it from the aspect of when people talk about curses and hexes, right? Mm-hmm. If you're cursing someone, if you're hexing them, and they don't believe in it, then are they really affected by it?
Yeah.
They say that, right? So is it something like that? Or is it just a phenomena that's present, and whether you do or don't believe it, it's still going to attempt to interact with you?
Yeah, it is. It could still, you're just in that environment and it could attach to you.
Right. Because, how many people are
Even
skeptics?
though you believe or not believe, if it's there, it could come home with you.
How many people are a lifelong skeptic until they have an experience? But there are other ways, too, that you can protect yourself. A simple way is you just kind of go over your body with your hand, and you just wipe things away that you think might be attached. Think of yourself when you're wiping dust or dirt off of your clothing, in a similar way to that. There's also showering after an investigation. That's literally cleansing yourself.
Can I bring my dude wipes?
No. And if you wash yourself from your head to your toe, that's the way to banish things. But if you're washing yourself in reverse from your feet to your head, that's kind of a way to receive things or try to draw things into you. And this is something that I've done before. When I just felt things are really heavy, I'm just I'm showering after this. I have to get it off.
Okay.
I also like to sometimes I'll just change my clothes, and I just feel these clothes were at that spot. They're do you really infected. I have to get them off.
So you really feel this way, that just by taking the clothes off and thinking that this will help you be cleansed.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I will always when we all go to that to our spot, I will come home, I will take off my clothes, and I'm they're done. They have to get washed before I can wear them again.
Yeah, she does.
But it's but what does that matter though? It could still be attached to you, not the clothing.
Right, it could. But that's why you take these other methods too, right? You could burn incense and cleanse yourself. Think about it the same thing with the hand, drag the incense around your body and use it to cleanse yourself. You could use a crystal, right? A crystal that you believe would have cleansing power. It's all about the intention, setting boundaries, right? What do you believe is going to help cleanse you of this, right? That's the important thing, is that you believe it, right? Mm-hmm. Make it personal to you, and then it becomes more powerful for you. I've also stood outside my house. Little cat purrs.
Sorry, I have a little friend right here by me right now.
I've also stood outside my house and recited the Lord's Prayer, and also running my hands over my body, wiping things off of me. And I will say that was a really weird car ride home. I didn't feel alone. Okay. I drove home fearful of looking in my rearview mirror because I was afraid there was going to be something there, and I just did not want to look. And I was well, I'm obviously not bringing this into my house. So I'm going to stand here on this porch, and I'm going to do whatever I can right here.
Okay.
And that was for me, reciting the Lord's Prayer, running my hands over my body and being you're coming off. You're not coming with me.
What have you seen me done to cleanse myself?
I don't know.
Have you ever done anything to cleanse yourself?
I wear this.
So do I.
Yeah. So I'm Catholic and I'm Italian.
And
half Italian.
I'm Catholic. Same.
Yeah.
And my grandparents always bought me a gold chain with a cross on it. I still have one that I wear that they gave me. So I kind of still see that as my protection, even though I am not a practicing Catholic.
But again, it's all about belief, right? And the
If you
symbolism.
I still have my belief
If
system.
you still have your belief of
Yeah.
that, then you know.
I still have my belief system. I don't go to church weekly. Like,
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that some other good advice when it comes to this, like protecting yourself, is if you just don't, like if you're not feeling it, if you feel off, you don't have to investigate, right? And sometimes there could be like a financial factor to consider when you're in that situation. But this way you're not putting yourself at risk then of being like more susceptible to bringing something home with you. And I'm not saying that that is going to happen, right? It's not something that happens often. It's very rare. But you could also, like, before your investigation, just schedule a few hours where you could, like, be calm and relax before you head out. Like, get into that headspace and that right mindset. So then when you're putting yourself into this situation, then you're going into it with, like, the right intentions and you're able to set those boundaries right from the start.
I think you're trying to scare the kids.
Yeah. I also,
I'm joking.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's all about intention.
I do have something that I do want to.
I mean, primarily we do this for fun. We do this because we're curious, right?
Right.
But I do have a question. Like, how would you feel like if you get to an investigation and as soon as you get to that investigation, you get a weird vibe? It just doesn't feel right. What
So
do you automatically be like, I'm done? Like, I'm out?
I've been there. I've been in that situation. When I was with my group in college, we went into an investigation and I spent like there would be a lot of us, right, in the group. I spent like the whole night like going to different people in the group and being like, we need to go. We need to leave here. And it wasn't even like, it wasn't my feelings. Like, it was just such a strong like feeling that I had like at that time.
Like almost like a pressure being put down on you.
Like we need to go.
It's almost like you're drowning.
Yeah, like something doesn't want us here and we need to leave now. I was telling like every group to the point where I think they were getting sick of it. And they actually like sent me with like someone else to go like run a little errand down the road. Oh, go see what those lights are.
Did it change once you left?
So it did change when we left. But then also when we went back, because we would like do an investigation and then we would go back to like one of the locations that we were in for the night. So we went back to that location because they felt like there was something happening. So we went back and it was like a totally different, like everybody was kind of like, yeah, okay, like I'm feeling it now. Like we shouldn't, It doesn't want us here.
Gotcha. Okay. How about you, Jody?
Would they have felt that way though if you didn't feel that way first?
I don't know, because it did really like.
I mean, yeah, because you're kind of like maybe putting it in their head, and then everybody might start getting that feeling of that, thinking, "Oh my God, there is something." But how do you feel about that? Have you ever been into an investigation where you went into?
I've been to places that are different at night than they are during the day.
But do you feel like you should leave? Like as soon as you get there, like, oh, I'm not feeling right. I should just leave this place right now, not take the chance.
I could tell you one time specifically, yes, I've felt that, and I had to get in the car and leave.
Okay.
How about you?
Me? I mean, like, I haven't been on that many investigations, but like, I mean, our special place, first time being there, I felt, you could just tell there was something, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Something was off. You got the ick.
Yeah, it just did not feel right. But I mean, we still did it, but just didn't feel right. Even same, like when you're leaving, it feels like something's with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been,
like
we
it
had
follows you out.
We've
And
been
it's like,
on a-
okay, you're gone.
a bridge like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like there's something with you still, and it's like watching you, making sure that you are out of here.
Yeah, but there's also the opposite. You know what I mean? Like there's places you go into and you're like, wow, this place has a great vibe, right? And
Yeah.
and sometimes that changes between day and night. But I mean, a good example, my cousin, I remember when my cousin first bought his house and, you know, his wife was really excited about it. I was like, yeah, you could tell like there's a lot of love in these walls. And she looked at me and she's like, when we renovated our kitchen, they found condoms in the wall. There was literally love in the walls.
There was love in the walls.
So yeah, I think that's a good one.
Okay.
I mean, I've never really gotten really scared where
I mean, yeah. See, I haven't gotten scared. It's just that I just feel like it's just
Gab's done it. I
something's,
mean,
something's like it's just something that's changed. It's like when you get there, it's like it just doesn't.
Yeah, I've
Just
done it.
by.
She's done it to us. You know, we
Yeah.
have to leave. We have to leave now, and it's like we're terrified because like, what is she? Why is she being
I
like this?
hate when it
Yeah.
happens to me. Like it's not. It feels like it's not my feelings, and
Yeah.
it's so strong, and I
She'd
can't.
be like the one that would just trip us as she's running.
Stop.
She's like,
Take them.
yeah. She'll trip us. She'll totally trip us.
She's got a large lizard brain. That fucker's working good.
She'll be like, Jeff, give me the sunlight, and then I'm tripping you.
Like my fight or flight kicks in, and I'm like, "Bye, take them.
Yeah, you would. I'd be like,
Give me the flashlight. I'm going."
So if you were going to bring out like an amateur group of people on an investigation, is that something you would do then? You would teach them like a little pre-investigation sort of ritual and a post-investigation ritual, like cleansing.
I
sort
feel
of
like
thing?
that's something that they should know.
Yeah, yeah. And even
Just
like
a little bit, like a little thing.
even like a pre ritual, right? Like I'm really big on like self-care. Like I really love self-care, and I think it's really important, right? To like fill up that cup like with the things that you really like. So then
like
when,
Netflix.
yeah. So then when you're like doing the things that you don't like, right? You're not like pouring from an empty cup, right? You already
Yeah.
have that like full cup to be able to pull from.
Yeah,
You know, you're energized.
some positivity there, ready to go, and you're
Yeah.
fully charged.
Yeah. So I mean, doing something, you know, that you enjoy before the investigation
I am
could be
so
helpful.
good at self-care, aren't I?
No, he's not. What about you, Jeff? You
Terrible.
good at self-care?
I hope I am. I seem like I am.
Do you think Jeff is like, what is self-care, and is it what I think it might be?
No, I think Jeff is good with self-care.
For everybody listening out there, I guess I am.
You made him feel good now. No, you're good at self-care, Jeff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got your hobbies and your video games and your hobbies and your makeup and artwork to kind of keep you busy, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That keeps me busy.
Because self-care self-care is not about, having a drink and watching a movie on TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It could
Taking
be-
a shower is not self-care.
It definitely is.
No, it's not.
Come on.
No, it's not. I mean, it's literally a hygiene practice that you do on a regular basis. It's
You've
not
never taken a
self-care.
shower just because you wanted to feel good.
I mean, yeah, sometimes.
So
but
then that's self-care.
again, I mean, it's not self-care.
Okay.
It's not.
I'm not going to get in the middle of this.
Apples, oranges, tomatoes, whatever.
I mean, there's so many other things that you deserve to do for yourself besides just taking a shower and having that basic, thing that you're doing anyway.
Like eat pizza.
Pizza.
Oh boy.
I don't know if like a long day at work is taking a shower is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's self-care. I think it's self-care.
Anything else anybody wants to touch on?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is if you're going to go out and you're going to be weird and doing this stuff out in the middle of the woods or in, an old house somewhere, or you're going out with the local group, have fun with it,
Yeah,
Just
have fun.
Have fun and be safe.
but
Yeah. Get permission.
Definitely get permission.
I don't want to say take it seriously, but don't go in and ruin everybody else's time, you know what I mean? Because you don't believe any of this stuff. Just go out with the intention of having fun with it and, being curious about what's out there and, just see what happens.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you guys want my question?
Well, here we go. I'm
I'm going to get used to this, I'm telling you.
going to do a little drum roll.
So, do you think that drinking alcohol, right, being inebriated, do you think that it would make it easier or more difficult to communicate with spirits?
Jeff, how's that bourbon?
We're drinking already, so
How's that bourbon over there?
it's fantastic, actually.
Is there any left?
No, it's all gone already. I could go for another. It's a little warm.
I mean, I'd love to experiment with it.
Would you? I mean, you really think that?
Yeah,
like,
I'd like
you
to.
think that like being drinking and you think it will?
I mean, just as an experiment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a psychedelic drug user, I mean that people literally leave their body. They go to other worlds. Some of them see God, right?
They do.
So I'm not saying I'm going to drink some bourbon and rocket ship off the planet and see God, but I mean it might be something. I would like to experiment with it. I'd like to get a little buzz and get on the Estes. See what happens.
It is, yeah. I mean,
You're up, slugger.
I'm up. All right. I don't know. I don't think that. I mean, I think you shouldn't be. I think not intoxicated in any kind of way, but
Yeah, you don't want to be hammered, right?
not be hammered, because then it's like, then what are you really like?
Plus, you don't want to be.
What are you really experiencing? Like
Yeah,
you could be hearing things. You think, oh, I'm hearing this, but technically, are you? It's like, because you already are, like, you're not in that state of mind where it's like you're 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Plus, you don't want to be completely inebriated, right? And be walking around in a house with a flashlight in the dark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Flashlights going everywhere, and you're just like, what? I'm losing my mind right now.
Yeah. But on the other hand, though, like, maybe if it's a different situation, maybe what if you're at like a bar that's haunted and you do have a couple of drinks and see if it actually will make a difference.
Yeah.
You might have someone that comes and sit next to you, maybe like some Bobby, and wants to talk to you.
It's funny. All the stories are like the haunted bars and like things flying off the shelves. Like the bartender's been drinking.
But yeah,
Oh,
in that scenario, it could be something you could try.
I mean, I'd like to experiment with it, but
I would like
Could be interesting.
I mean,
try it in a place
mind
that's
altering.
like a haunted bar, because you might get more activity out of that then.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just get more activity in general because you've been drinking.
Could be.
Because you're not, like, you don't have your guard up in a way. Right? You're not, like, in that, like, protective mode. You know,
You're just numb.
Yeah. Like, your conscious mind isn't working.
So
You
you're
know,
more,
fully.
like, you're vulnerable to them.
Yeah. You're vulnerable to it.
Yeah, that's how I kind of approach it.
All right, so that'll be our next test. That'll be, Jody and I.
Yeah, okay, Jeff. It'll always be Jeff and I, because why, Gab? Gabrielle doesn't drink.
No, I don't drink.
She doesn't like to drink, so.
What do we have tonight? We had
We had some bourbon.
some bourbon, and we also had some whiskey, right?
And some beer.
It was all bourbon. It was all bourbon.
Oh, that you said the
I'm a
first one.
bourbon drinker.
You said the first one was.
I mean, it's all whiskey, right? But it's
Yeah.
just aged longer, right? So.
You lie. But yeah, we did have some beer too.
Yes, some local blueberry beer.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Gab? Any thoughts?
No, I think that's everything.
Did she answer that question?
Yeah, she
kinda-
contributed.
She kind of just wrote
yeah.
our. She just wrote our.
She contributed.
Answers, yeah. Good job, Gab. Good job.
You're the glue, Gab. She's the glue.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.